I missed my friend's wedding and they're mad. She's marrying my ex. I am 28, missed my friend's, Amy F. 26, wedding. For a little background, my friend is marrying my ex-boyfriend Theo. He and I used to date around 4 years ago. We dated for a little less than a year and realized we mutually fell out of love, and ended things on good terms. We still talk sometimes, and are rather good friends, and I don't usually refer to him as my ex as I don't see him as that. Amy has been dating Theo for around 2 years. They met because we were all mutual friends, and they started to hit it off 2 years after Theo and I ended things. Theo proposed to Amy, and of course, they were going to get married. I was really happy for them when I found out. At that time I was planning to go to the wedding as their guest, that I even planned an outfit and bought a gift. However, a week before the wedding, I got a call from my mom telling me she was due for surgery soon. For context, my mom had a history for cancerous cells growing in her intestines, thankfully nothing fatal. For a while she usually just went to the doctors to get them removed, but finding out that they only kept growing, she had to get the section of where the cells are growing the most removed so it didn't hurt her in the future. Her surgery was due 2 days before the wedding, and she needed someone to take her home after staying in the hospital for a bit and to take care of her. Of course, as her son, I had to do that. I knew that it would take her a while to recover, and that I unfortunately wouldn't be able to make it to the wedding because I had to stay with her. I immediately decided to inform Amy and Theo that I wouldn't be able to make it, and that's where things went downhill. Amy not only didn't believe me, but she accused me of still having feelings for Theo and said that had to be the real reason why I didn't want to see them get married. I found this a bit ridiculous since I was already seeing someone, and that Theo and I dated 4 whole years ago. I have never even thought about involving myself with him like that, especially since he was engaged to my close friend. Theo also finds this a bit weird. I tried to explain that I had to be there for my mom, but she told me that I could just leave the house to attend the wedding and she'd be fine, and that I was using my mother's surgery as an excuse. Long story short, I didn't go to the wedding, obviously. It was 3 days ago and Amy is still calling and texting me angrily. She even involved some of our other mutual friends, and I'm assuming she twisted the story somehow because they all believe her, but I'm not too sure since Amy doesn't normally act like this. Did I do the right thing? Update. Hi again. A lot of stuff went down in 24 hours. Approximately 12 hours ago I get a message from Theo. It was weird since he was dead silent the entire time, and even weirder after I read it. The first message he sent me after 3 whole days was sorry, this was my fault. I'm trying to get Amy to calm down. You okay? I immediately wondered what he meant by this was his fault, so I texted back. Amy at this point stopped texting and calling, which I didn't question. I told him I was fine and we had a small back and forth before I asked him what he meant by his message. Turns out, Theo wanted to ask me to be his best man. Amy didn't like the idea of having me, Theo's ex, as a primary part of the wedding, especially as a best man, so they had a huge argument about it. Clearly this affected her to the point of arguing with me about missing the wedding, although I didn't know about any of this. Theo told me she thought he already asked me and that I knew all this was happening, which is why she was so hostile and made terrible accusations. What I didn't expect was that Theo admitted to still liking me. Frankly, I had no idea this was coming. I still feel disbelief while I type this and it feels like I'm having some sort of fever dream. In his words, he said, I think I may have hinted to her that I'm still into you by accident, ha. It's subtle, I guess, but the fact that he used present tense made me feel weird. Since when? How long? And most of all, what the frick? Not only is he nearly 4 days into his marriage, but why did he decide to tell me now of all times? I'm seeing someone, for Christ's sake. I'm genuinely so confused, and I don't know what to do. Do I talk to Amy? What am I even supposed to say to him? This is all so fricked up and I don't know how to remove myself from the situation. What does he even expect me to say? I like you too, break up with your wife. Let's date? What is this man's thought process? I feel disgusted when I look at the message. A newlywed man just confessed his feelings to me. I cannot fathom this at all. I don't know what to do. I still didn't respond and honestly I just want to block both of them and pretend this never happened. I feel bad for Amy. That's pretty much all, but I'm just radio silence right now. Any advice?